You're probably wondering how to get the coaching job you want without spending an entire paycheck on an agent. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. And I'm going to talk to you about how I work with you to get you the best job, the job you want. So by the end of our time together, you're going to find out how we can work together to get the job you want for a fair fee. You might want to turn off all your distractions right now so that you don't have any interruptions during this presentation. One of the misconceptions is that if I have an agent with the right connections, I will get the job I want. I find that that's one of the biggest misconceptions in this industry. The fact is, your inner circle is going to be the network that gets you a job. Why is that? I say one of the biggest reasons is any agent in the business, including myself, I have not worked with you on a staff. So I am a strong believer that although I've had several situations where I have gotten a person's name in to a person they didn't know, the fact is people, they still are going to rely on people you've worked and your reputation to possibly get you the interview and go further. So it's really important that you understand that. Another big misconception is I need someone to market me to teams so I can get the job I want. Well, if somebody doesn't have an opening, it can be very annoying to them to receive a bunch of resumes when in fact they don't have a job available. Now, I think what people can do and what I'm really good at is teaching you to network with people that may later at some time have an opening but don't right now. But just sending blank stuff off to people that don't have an opening, or me doing that, is very annoying to head coaches who are super busy, or a GM who's very, very busy in the NFL. If there's an opening, it makes sense. If there's not an opening, it does not make sense. I've had sometimes somebody say to me, hey, can you just get my information to this head coach? That's where I want to go. Well, that's just not how it works. Because if I was doing that for all of my clients, you can imagine how irritated they'd get. One of the other things is you're probably saying to yourself right now, I am a better coach or a better ops person or a better video person, whatever you do in football. Why don't I have a better job? And you know, the fact is, this is a very competitive industry, and there are lots of great coaches, and I'm sure you're a great coach too, but you have to communicate to the world, you know, what you're doing, because there's a lot of people out there doing the same thing that you do. And I think there's lots of different people that are good at lots of different things. Now, as far as myself, I have been a sports law attorney for 30 years, but I've also been creating football connections really my entire life. Why? I am a coach's kid, and so I grew up in this industry, and that has really allowed me to connect with people my entire life. Then I ended up marrying a football coach, and so that also, besides me working in the industry and my dad being in the industry and my husband being in the industry, that's allowed me to meet a lot of people in the college arena and the NFL. And it's allowed me to meet a lot of people. And I love that I've gotten to know a lot of people in this industry. But it's still important that you know that it's really who you know that will help you even more than actually who I know. I have been able to successfully represent coaches and ADs and in the NFL and college for many, many years. What I want to do is work together with you so we can get you where you want to go. And I'll tell you how I do that. This is how I will work with you to get the job you want. I have a unique process that was created by me. I am the only person who has this process. It took me many years to develop and many discussions with clients and also with actually my husband, who's a coach, about what do you really need to know and what do I need to know to successfully represent you. And I've come to the conclusion that I need to find out what your core purpose is, your core message, what your brand is. And then I teach you how to create a constitution. And then we create long-term and short-term goals. And I also go through an entire process identifying who you know that will help you get the job that you want. It is very important to me that I get to know who you are. And it's very important to me that why you do what you do and who you are is communicated to the world. In addition to that, I am going to obviously do a contract review and contract negotiation if that's what you need during the year. I think that's one of the most important things of the whole process, because it's important to me that you're protected contractually and that your family is protected contractually. That comes with my whole year of representation. In addition, I have this unique workbook, which you'll have access to on my website through an online access code that you will have. You will also get, when you go through this unique process, once you get through one part of it, then you'll schedule a call with me and we're going to discuss what you said and what you wrote and what kinds of things that you came up with while you're going through the workbook. In addition to that, I will be your trusted advisor throughout the year. Well, what does that look like? I'll give you an example. One of my clients called me yesterday and said, hey, I have an opportunity at University of Georgia. Okay. And we discussed the opportunity. We discussed what the salary is compared to what he's making where he is. And we kind of worked through all the different scenarios. Then I also told him, okay, I think you should call these 3 people to get their opinion, before you take the final interview. And so that's kind of the advice. And he was just about to buy a house where he was. So there was certain things going on. So that was just one thing. Somebody else might call me and ask me advice on something totally different. I've had people call me and ask me, hey, I want to write a trust. Who do I contact for that? I never know what it's going to be, but throughout the year, you can call me and get advice on jobs or anything else that I might be able to help you with. In addition, I have 2 opportunities during the year, one at the AFCA convention and one at the Combine, where you can meet everybody who's working with me, but also if there's other people, it also gives me an opportunity to introduce you to people that I know in the industry at those 2 networking events. Now, what's the next part of this? It's working my network and yours together. You already know who you need to know to get the job you want. And now I just want you to think right now, like, what coaches do you know or what people do you know that might be able to help you get to where you want to go? Now, an advocate versus an agent. So if you really look at the bottom of my logo, at the bottom right-hand corner, it tells you who I am. I'm Jill McBride Baxter. I'm an attorney and I'm a sports agent. But really what I'm about is I'm about protecting people, being an advocate and their trusted advisor. That's really who I am. And I really feel like what I am in this industry is I am an advocate for you in situations where you need an advocate. I think a lot of people think that if I hire an agent, that agent is going to get me a job. I don't even like the word agent. I'm an attorney. I want to protect you contractually. I want to be an advocate for you. And what I mean by that, for instance, let's say you say, I want to apply for this job at, let's say, University of Arizona. And you say to me, hey, do you know anybody there? I might say, yeah, I do know this person and this person. But until you get yourself in the door and you know there's really a job, I might be able to close the deal for you. But your inner circle is going to get you in the door. Now, I have had situations where I've gotten people in the door and gotten them the job, but I feel like that's a minority of the time. And when that's happened, it's like maybe I have a client leaving one place and I know, and I'm able to get this person that I know is a good fit, because I think you being the good fit is also important. Just realize that not everybody is the right fit for every job. Just because there's a job opening doesn't mean that you're the right fit. And you have to analyze all that. And I'm the person that you can run that by. We can discuss a strategy of how to get that job and whether or not you're the right fit, and then how to get into that situation and get considered for that job. Fee structure. This is the most aha moment I've had in the last probably 5 years. About 2.5 years ago, I finally changed to a flat fee. Why? I started to discover other people in my industry. And I said to myself, okay, there's some other people in the industry that are doing something different. They're not charging a percentage. Why aren't they charging a percentage? Because when I did represent people and charge a percentage, let's say I do all this work and then somebody from their inner circle actually got them into the job, they had this perception that I didn't get them the job, so I didn't deserve a fee, even though I'd been working all year to help them. And they didn't like getting the big, huge, basically, I'm going to take 4% of your contract, even though I'd negotiated the contract, advised them, by the way. But it was the person from their inner circle that got them the job, or they got the job based on their experience, which my experience is it's usually a combination of all those things. So then I finally realized I'm just changing to a flat fee. And each year it's the same fee. And subsequent years, it's a little less of a fee because the first year there's a lot more work with the unique process that I take you through. And it also took how much people make or where they are in the profession, where they're a GA, an analyst, a coordinator, a head coach. I don't really care. Everybody's paying the same. And it's been a much more, all my clients seem to like it a lot better. They know what the fee is every year. They're not surprised at the end of the year. And the fee is very fair, as especially what I'm providing. If I were to charge you $500 an hour for a contract negotiation, believe me, you'd be up to $5,000 so quickly. I won't even do a contract for somebody without a minimum charge of $5,000. If I were to charge you 4% of a contract, that could end up, sometimes that fee is $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, depending on how much money you're making. So the flat fee is a very good deal for people who are making a lot of money, but it also is a good deal for maybe people who are not making that much money, because a lot of agents won't even take you on because they're really all about how much money they're going to make. Now, another advantage that I have is I am sure that you have a unique story that you have to tell. And I like to share it on my podcast. I have a podcast called Representation Without Taxation. And what I'll do is I'll interview you, and then that will be something you can also share with the world. Also be shared with maybe job interviews. It'd be almost like a job interview on my podcast, so people can get to know you better. In addition to that, I've added recently a group Facebook page only for people who are in my program, where we can kind of get an insider's take on what's going on somewhere and try to get in on the jobs before they ever even come open, because somebody on the inside is going to know first whether or not there's a coach leaving on their staff, or recruiting, or video. So anyways, now, why do I think you're here? There could be several reasons why you're here. You're here because you're considering hiring an agent. You're here because you are seeking a new job or want to get to a certain school, or a lot of people you know have hired an agent. So you can stay confused and not know whether you should get an agent, or you can follow a proven roadmap, which is what I have. You're invited to join my family of coaches. And in this program, you will learn how to work with me to search for jobs, how to leverage your network, expand your network, and you will have custom job application materials that are uniquely created by my team. What you get right now, if you sign up today or within the next 24 hours, you'll get a professional planner, and you'll also get my book, Born to be a Sports Agent. Yes, I also am recently an author. That total value is $100. That is the bonus you get if you sign up today within the first 24 hours. What it would cost if you got an agent is $20,000. What I'm charging you is $5,000 for the whole year, which is such a deal. In addition to that, the second year, the fee will be less. It won't be $5,000. So you can have me every year for a flat fee that you know that's what it's going to cost, and then I can guide you through your career. And we can work to get you where you want to go. In addition, if you feel like, oh, wow, I'd really rather do it in payments, you can do it in 3 payments of $1,750, but then your total cost is going to go up to $5,250. So if you want to save $250, just pay the one flat fee of $5,000 for the year. And to enroll, you can click on the Coach's Career Development right here, and that'll take you right to the enroll section. So what does it look like when you do enroll? You're going to click a button that says purchase and enroll. It's going to give you two different choices. Do you want to do the 3 payments, or do you want to do 1 payment? The most popular is the 1 payment, obviously, because you save $250. And you can fill out the form. You'll create a password and a username, and you'll put in your information, and then it will be in my website. Then you will get an email from Kajabi, and you should look in your spam folder just in case it goes to your spam folder. And you will get a password and a link, and you can log into that link. You then will start into a members area where it has what I call my courses, but really what you're going into is the program. And then you'll start here with a welcome video. And you'll start your first process. The minute you start the welcome video, it'll tell you what to do, and then you can set your first coaching call with me. Again, you can sign up right now for 3 payments of $1,750, which would total $5,250. You can enroll right at the bottom, or like I said earlier, you can just pay the flat fee of $5,000 up front, and you don't do 3 payments. Right now you're saying, oh, I don't have time to do this. You need to make time. And this really doesn't take that much time. It takes about 20 minutes initially a week to get through and just get your thoughts down and then schedule a coaching call. I think 20 minutes of your time per week working on the big goal of getting the job that you want is worth the 20 minutes. So I don't really ever like the excuse, I don't have time, I want somebody else to do it for me. That's not what's going to happen in this industry. We need to work together to strategize to get you the job that you want. I don't have the money. I'm going to tell you, this is the best deal going in the agent business right now. Nobody else is doing it this way. And I don't think you can afford not to spend the money, even just on a contract negotiation. I had one coach that called me and said, okay, I just got my contract. It's not the same way. It's not what they told me it was going to be. And I looked through it. I had a negotiation with the university. I ended up saving that guy $1 million. If he had not called me and had not been working with me, he would have lost $1 million. The coaches that didn't call me on that staff, they ended up with 1 month's salary. So I'm going to say to you, you need me just for one of the most important reasons is protecting you contractually. The more money you make, the more chances you have for people to try to universities will take advantage of you to save money. There are certain words in the contract that you do not want in there, and you need an experienced attorney. I've been doing this for 30 years. You can't afford not to do this. And for $5,000 for a contract negotiation, for a process that you don't know anything about, that I'm going to teach you, to have an advisor if anything goes wrong, to also open you up to my network of people, I think it's such a good deal. I mean, you need to find the money to do this. I want someone else to do the work. Well, I will work with you, but we have to work together. This is not going to be like, if I have 30 clients, obviously, there is no way that if I have 30 clients that I'm going to be able to be the best advocate all day long for all 30 of them. I have to work with the person. We come up with a plan, and then I help them execute the plan. I just want to be clear about that. So enroll now in the next 24 hours, and you will get the bonuses that I talked about earlier. So I really hope that you decide to do this, and I really think it will impact your career, and I can't wait to work with you.